Hi everyone, welcome back to Dimitra's Dishes. So if you're looking for a delicious appetizer to serve at your holiday party, I got you covered with this one right here. It's my Tiropita puff pastry braid. It's so simple, it's so delicious. I've taught you how to make tiropita in a few different ways in the past, and I'll link all of those recipes in the card section up above in one of these areas, so look out for them. This is just to die for. It utilizes just a few ingredients, so you're going to want to make sure that each ingredient that you're using is as high quality as you can find. Let's go over the ingredients and then we can start making this delicious thing. So we're going to need a sheet of puff pastry, store-bought. I always keep them in my freezer. A little bit of all-purpose flour to roll it all out. Some fresh mint, but you could use dill or parsley or whatever your favorite herb is. You could even use basil. A little bit of whole milk yogurt. Some very good quality feta cheese. An egg plus an egg yolk and water for some egg wash for the top. Salt, pepper, and some really good ricotta cheese. So for the ricotta cheese and the feta, you want to make sure that you use full fat, whole milk, ricotta, and feta. It makes a world of a difference. We're going to begin by rolling out our puff pastry, and it's much easier to transfer it if you roll it out on the baking paper or the parchment paper. Just very lightly flour it, and we're going to roll it out to about a 12 to 15 inch rectangle. Don't have to be so precise, just get it a little bit as close to that measurement as you can. That's about right. Now I'm just going to roll out the sides a little bit more. There we go. That should be good. And then with a knife, I'm just going to go and form some slits on each side. So that way that's going to make it easy to form a braid pattern. We're going to do 7 or 8 diagonal slits on each side. And then I'm just going to lift it and transfer it onto my baking tray. Now we're going to pop this in the freezer until we make our filling. So to make the filling, it's really simple. I'm going to crack the egg into the ricotta cheese, and I'm just going to mix it up just until it's incorporated and very well beaten. Very good. Now I'm just going to add the yogurt. And the yogurt is going to add a nice creamy tang to it. It's going to complement the cheese very well. Now very simply, I'm just going to crumble the rest of my feta cheese in here. Mix it all up. Now always use block feta whenever you can get it. You never want to buy the crumbled cheese because that's the lowest quality feta cheese that you can get. It's super briny and doesn't have the nice creamy texture or flavor that block feta does. Now last but not least, I'm going to add my chopped up mint. Mix it all up, and just like that, my filling is ready to go, but not yet. Actually, I'm going to put some freshly cracked black pepper and just the tiniest bit of salt, just a little bit. The feta cheese is salty. My ricotta cheese was a little bit on the salty side. And so I'm just adding just a little bit of salt just to bring all the flavors together. You don't want to add a lot, and you could even skip the salt if you wanted to. Now I'm just going to take all the filling and put it down the center. And now we're just going to create the braid pattern by taking all these strips that we've sliced and just crossing them over each other. And press the edges just a little bit. Now, last but not least, we're going to brush the top with this egg yolk and water that I've combined. It's 1 egg yolk with 2 tablespoons of water. And I'm going to brush the top so that way when it bakes, it's going to be really nice and golden. If you wanted to, at this point, you could sprinkle some sesame seeds on top. What we're gonna do before we bake this, I'm gonna preheat my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna pop this in my freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes because puff pastry bakes much better if it's a little bit chilled. It'll puff up much better and become more golden. I'm gonna put it in the fridge again, or freezer actually, for 15 minutes. If you don't have room in your freezer, go ahead and put it in your refrigerator for about 20 to 30 minutes. Then pop it in the oven on the middle rack and let it bake for 35 minutes to 40 minutes or until it's beautifully golden on top. And that all depends on your oven, so keep an eye on it. So it took 40 minutes for my Tiropita strudel to bake, and just take a look at how gorgeous it looks. The puff pastry has puffed up to a golden perfection. The cheesy filling should be really nice and creamy and super flavorful. If you wanted to, you can top this off with some walnuts and serve it. I would definitely make 2 if you're making this for a party of between 6 to 12 people, just because this goes super fast. This is a great appetizer to serve at parties for so many reasons. First of all, you can assemble this ahead of time 24 hours before you serve it and keep it ready to go in your refrigerator. You can make it up to 2 weeks ahead of time if you keep it stored in your freezer. So just assemble it, don't brush the egg on it, wrap it in parchment paper and then in aluminum foil or in plastic wrap. Keep it in your freezer. When you're ready to make it, just take it out, put it on a baking tray, brush it with egg and just bake it until it's nice and golden. Keep an eye on it. It can take anywhere between 35 to 45 minutes. You'll know when it's ready when the cheese is nice and bubbly and it's nice and puffed and golden. But once it's done, whenever you make it, take it out and let it sit at room temperature for a good 30 minutes because this is one of those appetizers that you want to set really well before you slice it, because cheese, once it sets, it becomes a little bit more firm and the slices will stay together better. So mine sat for a while. Now we're going to cut into it just so I could show you how nice it looks. Look at that. Look at how creamy and yummy that looks. Of course, you can do this with my ricotta filling as well. If you want me to do a video on that, let me know in the comment section below. I could show you how to do that too. I'm kind of obsessed with puff pastry braids this time of year. I've showed you how to make an apple, and I can do a bunch more too if you want to, so just let me know. Let me take a bite of this. It's perfect. The filling, you could really taste the feta. And the ricotta makes it nice and creamy. The yogurt adds the perfect tang, and the mint just wakes it up and puts it all together. The recipe, as always, will be in the comment section below, as well as on the website, www.dimitrasdishes.com. Let me know what you think and what you want to learn how to make next in the comment section below. If you haven't already purchased my cookbook, The Brunch Table, head on over to Amazon to get the paperback copy. And if you want the ebook version, go on my website, dimitrasdishes.com, and go ahead and download that. It's full of delicious recipes just like this one. They're sweet, savory, and everything you'll need to host a delicious brunch. And who wouldn't want to host a delicious brunch this time of year when you're entertaining? You might have family over. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.